Alright, let's go guys. So, Alec's banner is here, and we're gonna one tap. Now again, for any of you who are wondering or you might not be aware, both Alec and Dorothy swimsuit are limited characters. So that means if you don't get them right now, I don't really know when they will rerun, right? Probably next year. But in case you guys are wondering, the one that's harder to obtain is going to be Dorothy. Alec is still 2%, right? You can see right here, 2% out of the 4%. Whereas Dorothy is going to be 1%. So if you are going to use your ticket, normally you want to use it on Dorothy, right? It makes a lot of sense. Now obviously it's gacha, you can still get lucky here and there, but Alec is a higher rate, right? So if you want to use tickets, probably use it on Alec. If you want to use gold tickets, probably use it on Dorothy. But with that, I'm going to try to get hopefully one copy, and then we'll see how it goes. We're going to test out. Got Alec in 4 pulls. Ooh, 4 pulls. Okay, I did not quite get it right there. Boom. Alec has no rebate. So Alec has no rebate. 1 rebate only. Oh shoot. So 20 pulls. Man, this is going to be rough. This will be rough, guys. That's 2%. But I'm not winning the 4%. Is the banner rigged? Come on. Where? Okay. Next one, for sure, right? It has to be this one. Okay? You took the 1 tap, good for you. No way. Not even 1 goal. You got in the first 10 pull? Nice. What is... Guys, stop pulling, let me pull. You guys are taking all the luck. Guys, what is happening? Not even a single goal? Come on. Silver and blood too. Oh, okay. Finally. Is this it though? 2%. 2%. Alright. Okay, please be Missilis. Is this it? Come on, you just gotta give it to me. Thank you.
Boom! Anytime,
Boom.
anywhere.
Okay.
Even out at sea. Floaty in
Hey,
the
what is
pool.
up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. So, Swimsuit Elegg is finally here, so let's talk a little bit more about her. So where does she shine or take place right now in the meta, right? So a lot of you guys probably are not aware, but she's going to be a water machine gun character, but she's going to be much more of a supporter as opposed to like a DPS like Swimsuit Doro. So her kit is going to be reliant on a different system. Now, if you guys are familiar with Maiden Ice Rose, she's going to be similar in that particular concept. So let's just briefly talk about her kit. So when you enter the battle, she basically affects 1 random enemy and she will just shoot that particular random enemy. So basically required hit count, if a total of 100 times in total, you are basically going to get the 1 ghost out of the enemy, right? When you reach 100%, and you can do that 13 times. 13 ghosts can be captured. So every 100 times total hit, basically that means if you have plenty of machine gun in the team, you are going to get this even faster. Now the thing is, what is the ghost mechanic right here, right? So you want to get as much of the ghost as you can. Now if you have at least 1 ghost, then everybody is going to get the 16.2% increase of Alec's attack in this particular case. But it's only going to affect the water code allies. So it is going to be a very strict, specifically to water teams, right? And if there are more than 4 ghosts, right, damage as strong element will increase by 35% continuously. So she is going to be pretty good in that particular case if you are putting her in a water team. So one more, her skill 2, when you burst, you're gonna get the 40% increase in attack for 10 seconds. And then if you gain up to a maximum of 13 ghosts, that's going to be the maximum of how much she can capture. Alright, so she's basically going to deal 1100% damage to enemies every time you capture a new ghost. So ideally, your purpose is to not release the ghost and try to stack this. You want this to constantly be a thing, right? To try to stack as much of those as you can. Now the truth is, right now you can see random enemy units if the number of ghosts is not 13. Now you can see for her burst skill, she will basically release the ghost depending on how it is, right? So if the number of ghosts is not 13, she will deal 800% damage, attack sequentially for 6 times, and she will reduce the number of ghosts by 6. But she will maintain at least 1 ghost. But if it's maximum ghost, which is 13, then she will attack sequentially for 13 times as opposed to 6 times. Still 800%, but the number of ghosts goes down by 9. So you are going to do damage right here. But the truth is, ideally, you're better off just not using the burst skill. You want to just maintain the maximum ghost effect so that you can basically get the 1100% of attack damage to the enemy every single time you capture a new ghost, which is like every 100 bullets consumed in total, right? 100 hit counts. So that's going to be how it is. Now, where does she shine right now, right? In terms of the meta, like, is she strong? Can she be used as a DPS? Now the answer is pretty much no. If you are looking for a damage overall, she does less damage than Swimsuit Doro, alright, and she also does less damage than Quincy Escape Queen. So in the water team, she's not going to shine as a DPS. So you want to use her as a support pretty much. Let's go with this. Boom. Alec should hold a burst until the last round. Yeah, I think a lot of people would try to hold it until and then release the ghost at the end. So that's going to be what it is. But I'm testing damage first for now. I'm testing how much damage it can output, not the support yet. So support wise, she got 2.7 billion here. Really high. So surprisingly, she is a better buffer than Helm. But very strong, right? I would say overall from 2.1 billion in the previous testing, we're able to increase the damage, right, significantly. So 2.1 billion I test in the Little Mermaid Crown with Alec and Dorothy and Helm right here, right? So I tested one with Alec basically bursting and one with Alec not bursting but Helm bursting is instead. And you can see this one, the damage is 2.18 versus 2.1. I think it's not that crazy of a difference, right? It doesn't matter who bursts, Helm bursts or Alec bursts, doesn't really matter, right? So I put Quincy Escape Queen right there. Try out in this particular team. As you can see, this is going to be the one, right? Quincy Escape Queen, Alec, and then Helm. So also get about 2.1. Now this one is very interesting, right? So now we try to put two of the strongest water DPS right now, which is Quincy Escape Queen and Dorothy. Now the third slot, right? I tried with this particular one. Okay, so if I were to do this, as you guys can see, right? I just tested this one in particular. So I put Dorothy and Quincy Escape Queen with Helm right here. We got 2 billion. So Quincy Escape Queen with Alec and Helm is actually better. Yeah, if I'm trying to find the perfect combination right here, doesn't matter if Crown gets the buff or not because they are all in the same team, right? Regardless, in this particular case, the best combination, alright, if you are looking for the best water team right now, is to put all three of these together. So Quincy Escape Queen with Dorothy, and of course Alec is going to be the off burst. So this is going to give us the best damage so far, 2.73. The second best one, surprisingly, is with Ludmilla Winter. So Alec is a better Ludmilla Winter in a way, right? So if you're looking to buff water team, I think Alec is going to be there. Obviously, your other characters have to be water, because or else her buff is specifically to water code allies, right? But yeah, Guillotine Winter is not that good, right? This one is probably the one that's weakest, 2.37. She's only going to be used in this particular case specifically against water bosses. So in a way, she's probably I guess she's decent as a buffer. Is she better than Maiden? I feel like she's probably similar to Maiden in that particular case, right? Similar to Maiden and Swimsuit Anis or Summer Anis. If you're looking to improve water team as a whole, I guess. But the problem is right now we don't have enough. I feel like water team is still a bit lacking in terms of the DPS. Winter Ludmilla is more versatile. She can go into non-water team for off bursts. Yeah, I do agree. If you can pick one, obviously I will go with Dorothy. Dorothy is the priority in my opinion, right? Because she's the best or strongest water DPS right now. Alec is more of a support, and she's not a universal support, she's only a water supporter, right? So ideally, Alec can you can still get one copy, right? Ideally you want to get both, but if you had to pick one, really, Dorothy is probably the one. Doro pretty much have her own team. Not recommended for newbies. Yeah, I can see for new players, because you're not gonna use her in story. You're definitely not gonna use her in story, campaign, you're not gonna use her there, right? She's probably going to be a solo raids or a union raids kind of scenario where you'll use her, right? One very important note to take away from this is her value may go up if we get more water characters in the future. So Swimsuit Anis was released before Cinderella came out. Do you guys remember, right? So Cinderella came out and Swimsuit Anis was one of the best teams right now to pair with her. So that's going to be one thing to consider as well, right? So back then Swimsuit Anis was pretty much a supporter that's like a DPS. You use her in her own team with Privati and Dorothy. Do you guys remember? Privati, Dorothy, and then Swimsuit Anis. Summer Anis was in that particular team. And then afterwards, we have a new meta, Pilgrim, Boom, that changes the perspective of things. And then now Summer Anis is pretty much one of the best pair, right? If you don't have Summer Anis, of course, there's another option which is the Maiden Ice Rose can also be used to pair with your Cinderella. You can use one or the other one, right? With Alec, I think the same thing might happen in the future once we get another water character that's not Doro. So right now, we're going to have a couple of issues. If you are trying to use Swimsuit Elegg to her fullest, alright, you're trying to make the best out of her, then probably something like this could work, right? So you can basically let Helm be the one that's bursting. So you got Little Mermaid, Crown, and then you got Dorothy and Helm right here. And then you can see Alec is going to be right there in particular. So this is going to work for sure, right? You have one of the better, strongest water team, but in most cases, right, in a lot of situations, you're probably not going to put Dorothy right here, right? Because even though Dorothy is the strongest water, but because the shotgun team works so well for her, you either want to take her out and put her in a separate shotgun team, right? So that's going to be how it is. So in most cases, maybe you're going to put either a Quincy Escape Queen right here, or like Lumila in this particular case. So something along these lines. And if you are doing this particular team specifically, right, you are trying to put Alec in here, there's not that much of an improvement compared to putting Winter Lumila just right there. So Winter Lumila is going to give, so far I tested, is about like, with Alec it's about 10% increase, which is decent, right? But with Winter Lumila, if you have a very well invested Winter Lumila, this team is going to work pretty good as well. Now, of course, if you're trying to do a solo race, again, you're probably going to split up all of this team, right, generally. But Alec, right now, she is going to be in a kind of a weird place because water characters are a little bit weird in a way that there's not many of them. That's number one. Number two is the most meta, strongest character right now is pretty much going to be Swimsuit Dorothy. But she has her own team in the shotgun team. If you guys want to build like Swimsuit Dorothy, you can put her in a Tove team, right? So something like this, right, with Tove, Blanc Noir, and then Bunny Soda pair with Swimsuit Doro. So that's going to be your shotgun team in a nutshell. Plus Tove recently got the Treasure as well, so that's going to help this particular team in question. So with that, Swimsuit Elegg is going to feel out of place. Now, I think she can still fit in some teams, like I mentioned, either with Quincy Escape Queen, or if you want to, you can put with Brady as well. Now, Brady is also going to be a bit finicky because she's going to need her own separate team with either the Maid Mast or Maid Anchor. So you can probably put it in there as well. So that's going to pretty much work in a way. She's not like a super must-have, she's not like broken by any means, but she's the strongest water supporter right now. Now that's going to be probably her weakness, because she's not a universal buffer, she's pretty much a buffer for a specific water team. Now if you care about solo raids, she's a must-have. If you don't, then that's just going to be how it is. Alright, so with that being said, that's going to be it for this particular video. Subscribe, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day, goodbye.